All right, part 3, because I had to dump some more videos. So we'll see. Cut me off mid thought. So, anyways, I was saying that uh, I do think that me having a different name has changed or altered my views on life and maybe given me a unique perspective that others don't have. Um, Again, with a lot of the stuff that frustrates me, I don't understand how other people don't see it. One of the things is there's this, but this is my problem, and this is not what I've experienced. This is what everybody talks about. Um, when it comes to acceptance, um, there's this noise out there, but when I stop listening to the noise and I have personal interactions with people, that's what I'm talking about. Um, in my life, like I said, family wise, that those things, I find more acceptance to who I am within other cultures than my own. That's how I the only way I can explain it. Um Other people, when like other cultures, not, and it's not 100% true, but it's kind of weighed for me heavier on one side than the other, if I can explain that. If a person of a different ethnicity or a different race walks up to me and they find out what my name is, there might be shock. There might be, oh wow, I didn't expect your name to be that. But it's not, it doesn't rise anger and frustration out of them. And they don't refuse to call me by my name and have so many problems and just like, yeah, that doesn't happen very often unless I'm dealing with other white people. Um, I see how our system is rigged here in America towards the favoritism of the quote unquote white race. Um, but really, it's not really that. It's has to do more with prestige. You're going to get into a prestigious college easier if you have family members that usually are your own color that attend that school or in the alumni or something. You're going to get a much easier time getting into that school. You're not going to have to work as hard. I'm not saying that you're not going to work as hard, but it seems like that's the way the system works. Is you may not have to work as hard as somebody else and you may choose not to. But you are more readily available to find those opportunities. Those opportunities are more there for you than the other person. Sorry, I have itch. My skin just itches today. I don't know. I went outside in the sun and I'm all itchy. um so I'm trying to keep myself from scratching and it's not working. um I might have to put on some cream. Just the fact that I'm not rich, believe me, I am not rich in any fashion at all. In fact, I'm like moments away from losing everything, but it's okay. But literally, so I am not rich. I do not have a trust fund. I don't even have family members that are willing or help, just there to help. Um, I don't have those things. I never have. Um, but I do find it's not lost on me that I'm a poor white woman, but yet I'm still sitting in a home for I don't know how long, but I'm still sitting in a home making videos on my telephone. That is not lost on me. That is not. But, and there's always that but, but it's not like I don't experience issues and problems, and it's not like I don't have to work hard. Oh, I do. I have to work very, very, very hard. Um, but like I said, once you figure out I'm a white person, that might make things a little easier on me. But then we go back to your woman, and here, I don't know, we can't hire women, and women can't work, and we're only good enough to push out babies. We have no other place in our system, which is ridiculous. Um, I'm amazed that I'm experiencing, I just lost like tons of rights in this country. And I'm just shocked that it's okay. It's all okay. Don't worry about it. Nothing bad is going to happen just because I lost my rights. Nothing bad. Nobody else, no other minority other than women are going to lose their rights. They're not coming after anything like that. No, that does bother me. So I no longer in America have the rights to my own body. I don't understand why people don't get that. Why this is so bad. I do not have the right now to obtain medical care for abortion, whatever I might need. It's even gone so far as to take the system that really wasn't even about abortion. It was called Planned Parenthood. You go there, like I'm telling you, I've taken my son to Planned Parenthood. Okay. And it had nothing. That's where you go to stop spreading. It's either Planned Parenthood or the state. You can go to the state's health department and you can overwhelm them. But it's reproductive health. And I don't want to even call it reproduction because it's like it has to do with us keeping from spreading venereal diseases. Making sure that if you want birth control, it's available to you. I am pro-choice. I don't think that it's my right to get involved in your life when I'm not paying your bills. And yeah, and I pay taxes too. I work. They take a lot of taxes from me. So I pay taxes as well, but I'm not paying your bills. So you're getting a little assistance. And that's what drives me crazy is I pay into the system. I don't sit around on my butt and I'm not going to work. I'm never doing anything. No, I do usually get a paycheck and they take taxes out and they go to hopefully fix the holes in the road, but they never do. But they're supposed to go into all these services like Planned Parenthood, all these things. And I don't know. But we've now demonized that again. And somehow it's my business not be bothered about a 10-year-old being raped, but worry about if she should get an abortion or not. That to me was sick. When we were doing that, that was gross. That was so gross, America. That was really gross. I couldn't believe that anybody was taking that seriously. And it was disgusting. Because I'm not kidding. Here in America, when they introduced a story here, about a 10-year-old being raped. That wasn't the highlight. That wasn't. The highlight was, we got to stop this abortion. That was the highlight. And everybody was arguing over if a 10-year-old should get an abortion. Not shocked and saddened that a 10-year-old been raped by a grown man. That part nobody cared about. That did shock me. So that's what I'm talking about. Those are the rights that I lost. I no longer am intelligent enough to have a conversation with my doctor and decide what's best for my health and my body. That to me is very unacceptable. But I don't know, Colorado Springs, Oh yeah, I've had to deal with the harassment through the military and through their fucking Facebook and all that bullshit too. Whatever. Yeah, I said some stuff. Some stupid girl was going to try to pick on me. And I explained to her, because she was laughing about that women were losing their rights. She thought that was hilarious. And I explained to the woman she's going to care when her soldier husband gets another woman knocked up. And now he's got to pay child support. And she's got to divvy up her money because he couldn't get his side piece an abortion. Like, you're going to care when you're having to split your retirement with another woman because he couldn't get her an abortion. So that was pretty funny. One thing I noticed too, we got 10 minutes left about. Got actually 12 minutes. I gotta hurry up my thought on this one. One thing that this is designed to do. So as long as you're out there screaming that you hate white people and you're black, and I'm out there screaming, I'm not me personally, but then there's a white person, because I don't do that, but there's a white person screaming that their problems is because, it just keeps us bickering. That's the problem, is it keeps on dividing us and bickering. Maybe we should pay attention to that. But who am I? Who knows? So I don't know how well I broached this topic at all. Probably not well. I just know there's truths inside of me. And when I hear things that don't resonate with that truth, I can't accept it. I'm sorry. It's just, I'm not even sorry. I just can't accept it. There was another show when I was thinking about the television and programming that I watched growing up, MASH. That show I used to watch all the time. And that's where it confuses me. There's a lot of television program that we watched growing up. Everybody who loved it at the time. Now all of a sudden, gay is bad. Well, how did you watch MASH? Explain to me. What was Claire doing every 5 minutes? There was oh God, there's, like I said, there's so much programming. I'm trying to remember the names of it. I know there was other television show like Archie Bunker, and he would try to approach these topics on it. Hee Haw. I don't know. I never liked Hee Haw. I had to watch Hee Haw though, because if I was quiet and good and watched Hee Haw with my great grandparents, then I could possibly watch Lawrence Welk and the Muppets. So there was and then there's like other ones like Green Acres. Uh, that was pretty much exclusively white people. Uh, I Love Lucy though. I I always loved I Love Lucy. Desi Arnaz was not a white person. In fact, his the Arnaz's Desi, then the son, he had something to do with our church out here in Colorado, the Church of Religious Science. That's that Unitarian church that I was christened in when I was a child. I tried to go back, but when I first got here to Colorado, that's what irritated me about everybody here in Colorado Springs. Is like it was weird. It was so strange. So when I'd first moved back, it was around Easter. So I'd went back to the church with my family, with my sister and everybody. And I was sitting there I was crocheting. And the church has changed a lot, but I can't expect it not to. Like it's, a church. Of course it's gonna change after 40 years. Um I don't know. It just had changed. And nothing wrong with it. It just didn't feel right to me at the time. And so then all of a sudden, so I go back to my church once, right here. And next thing I know, I got all these assholes from the military screaming at me that I better be a Christian. You need to go to church. I already went to church. Shut up. You don't even know me. I don't know what you think you know, but you don't know me. So I had already tried to go back to my church. The messages, nothing's sad. I just don't want that. I don't know what to tell you. So I don't actually find in the Christian religion, I don't find a lot of messages that sit well with me. When you're out there screaming at me and spitting in my face in front of people in my neighborhood that my God's dead, your God's dead. You really think that is something that's going to want me to join your faith? Like, I'm not getting it. I did also go to the Church of the Nazarenes when I was little, but that was for private school. It only lasted for like a year, and I couldn't stand to go back. It was just not a good experience for me. I have a speech impediment. I have issues. I've had them my whole life. I have anxiety issues. There's all kinds of stuff. And instead of just treating me like a human being, when I would have issues, they would actually call me the devil. It was not okay. It wasn't fun. I got punished at that Christian school. And do you know why I got punished at that Christian school? It wasn't because I didn't try. So we had to memorize Bible verses. And I had drove my family nuts. My Christian family. And I'm doing that in air quotes because they don't really believe in anything. I was supposed to memorize this. So I was supposed to work with my family. I tried to get them to do it, but nobody had time. Nobody had time. I did it on my own. I could recite it before I walked in the classroom. And then it was my turn on stage, and I completely went blank. And just everybody staring at me, it just freaked me out, and I couldn't speak. And so because of that, I got punished. Everybody else got to go to a pizza party. I did not. I had to stay behind with the janitor. You tell me that's Christian-like behavior. That's my experiences in the Christian church. I'm sorry. I don't know. I want to tell everybody it's different, but it's not. Usually when I go to a Christian church, I hear a lot of hate, a lot of intolerance. I'm supposed to hate everybody that's different from me. If somebody is gay, oh, I must set them on fire. Like they actually teach hate from a lot of these pulpits that I've been around. They have this idea here that if you're born white, you're holy. Anybody that's born of a darker skin is not holy, and that's their sin. I don't know. And I've actually tried to go to a bunch of different churches here, but apparently nobody sees that. And I just can't convert. I'm sorry. And there's something wrong with that too. It's not good enough that I visit your church. I have to convert. I'm not going to. I can't. Not doing it. Not doing it. Won't do it. Can't do it. I'm comfortable in my belief system. Nobody else is. Not my problem. My belief system, I may have feelings that I am superior over somebody else, but I know 100% that is not the truth. That's the difference. Sometimes people act like idiots. And they call me an idiot. And I'm not going to go to a church every Sunday that I got to fight you and tell you, no, you're wrong. Just because you're white doesn't make you any better. Just because your religion doesn't make you... I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to go to a church and debate you every day. If I don't agree, if we can't see that we're both okay, then I don't need to be there. It's not going to change anything. There also is the sense that here in Colorado Springs, and I know I'm not the only one who feels it, maybe if you just go to their church, maybe your life would be a little easier. Maybe things would work for you just a little bit easier. Well, you guys don't know me. Bring it on. You want to make my life hard? Oh, you don't even know what you're talking about. Believe me, you cannot make my life hard. It will flip around on you. 100%. I can't change that about myself either. The other weird thing too that I experience, I don't know. I don't know what to tell people on this. I do notice my husband kind of had the same problem. My late husband, Stephen. When people are doing horrible things to us, horrible things start kind of happening to them, and then they blame us about it. Then it's our fault. And it just like frustrates me because I'm like, okay, you're blaming me for a bad thing happening to you. So, example, and I think this is why a lot of my family members actually don't want me around. But it's funny because their lives are still hell and I'm not there. So how can it be my fault? They kind of get upset because when they're doing horrible things to me or saying horrible things, like one time, somebody got a flat tire. And then, of course, they got angry at me because they were not thinking correctly about me at the time. They got a strange flat tire. So what happens? I get a phone call from this person cussing me out. Because somehow it's my fault. This person's 80 miles from me. So I don't know. And I've learned in my life, when I get angry or upset with people, I most of the time just want them to go away and not be next to me. Like, you can go over there and do everything you want to do, but just don't bother me. Things can happen way worse than that to people. And so that's where I'm like, maybe like I don't have to run around and teach everybody lessons because there's might be something greater than me. So I know, even though, and I'm not saying these things like I feel like a superior over a race or anything like that. It's individuals. And I've just noticed that I don't always need to correct everything because a lot of the times it's not for me to correct. And what happens to people bothers me because I don't really think they deserve it. And I don't know if any of this is resonating and making sense. If it's not, I'm sorry. If it is, yay. What do we got? We got, see, I lied. No, I didn't. Okay, I got 11 minutes left. Think something about that. Looking at the time. So, I don't know. We're talking about a lot of issues, a lot of things. A lot of other cultures go through the same thing. Unfortunately, we try to use that as an excuse for our own behavior, and that's not okay. One thing I'd like to express again, because it started to come up again, and it's just ridiculous. Somehow racism and slavery is okay in America because the black people were kidnapping themselves. That's not quite really even the truth. There was no kidnapping and slavery until really like we started moving them around in ships. That's where it really kind of started. A lot of other cultures that I've learned about, and I've had to have like two educations. I've had like an education through our public and private sector, and I've had to educate myself reading, i.e., books that they didn't want us to read. Slavery, what we call slavery, and what happened in other societies sometimes wasn't even the same thing. I personally have stories in our family where we were taken captive by the natives. It's funny though to me because we escape the natives because they wanted us to. We were either able to buy our freedom or the tribe told us to, they packed us a bag and said, you better get out of here. So it wasn't like what people are saying. It was it was completely different. Uh, yes, I've heard stories like natives kidnapped natives, but it wasn't the same thing. It really wasn't. They were actually taken in as part of the tribe. They were given land to work on. They were given tools. They were given almost equal rights to the natives, but yet they were slaves. I do have a lot of stories, and I've heard a lot of the white women that were captured. You know what's funny about it? Well, when the white women would get rescued, a lot of them went back. They found that they had a lot more. I was looking at time again. They found that they had a lot more freedom and a lot more status with the Native American culture than they were finding with their European culture. Like I said, that's our family stories. I don't know what to tell people. Yeah, we do have another story where a native tribe came and they massacred my whole family, the whole part of that family. They killed even the children. It's not stated though that there might have been a war my family may have done something to cause, i.e., it would be really hard for the Native Americans to murder my part of my family if my family wasn't even here in America. So we came here, we caused a war, and then we want to be shocked when my family died from a result. I'm not saying any of my people in my family deserved it. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying I can understand and see what happened. A lot of these myths, though, like the person was pointing out to me, are perpetuated by media and by Hollywood. So this is what you know, but it's not correct. I don't know how to explain it. Oh, and then I did jump in my first video. The first time I'd ever been called the White Devil was in like 2010. That had nothing to do with Biden, though. Everybody, I remember at the time, they were trying to blame Biden, and it wasn't. It was Trump and them. It really was. That's who got that rhetoric going. I remember. Or Barack Obama and Biden. It was not them at the time. It was Trump who was doing this birther thing and claiming that Trump didn't, or claiming that Biden didn't have, not Biden, Obama didn't have a birth certificate, which is crap because he was born in Hawaii. You guys are, don't matter. He was born in Hawaii. He's an American citizen. In fact, the stuff that Trump and them were trying to spread was just so difficult to believe, but so many people believe it. So in order for Obama to not been born and it to be fake news, you don't understand what people would have had to do. You would have to go through every house attic. You would have to go through every attic in that place and buildings. And I don't know, I probably have pictures of it. So our cabin was built in the 1930s. We built it, I think it was 1920s, 1930s. Do you guys know that whole floor in there was lined with old newspapers? When we started pulling up the years and years and years of linoleum, the papers were still readable. So you would have to go through every home in Hawaii, their attic, including their buildings, to switch out all the newspapers to put Barack Obama on there, on his birth announcement. It was such just an insane task, because I know personally when they did buildings, they used to line the floors with newspaper. So his birth announcement is correct. It is real. But that was something that Trump and them did. It's exactly what they did. So that was the first time I'd been called White Devil. The first time I'd ever been told that I was a Nazi. So I was playing Pokemon Go in Colorado Springs downtown, and it had to do with the police department, and they were doing some really weird stuff there. And all of a sudden, while I'm driving, this dude walks out in front of me and stops so I can't drive and starts screaming at me that I'm a Nazi. She's a Nazi! She's a Nazi! It was really weird. It was very strange. That was the first time that had ever happened, because everybody knows I don't fit in with those ideas. But if you don't know me and you're trying to make a distraction, good way to do it. So that's why I'm saying a lot of this stuff is distraction. Why that guy jumped out in front of my car in downtown Colorado Springs in the middle of the night to stop me and scream that I was a Nazi, I have no idea. He was brown, but it didn't make any sense, because really the interaction, he would have never known who I was, or he had a reaction before he could even see I was a white person. So that's where I was just like, whatever. And I just continued to play Pokemon Go. All right, I'm a Nazi today. Like, it's silliness. Really, it is. But those all things are pretty new for me. Like, I've actually never been to a rally. I didn't go to Trump's rallies like a lot of you guys. I don't know what to tell you. I saw that and I was just like, nah, no, I don't want part of that. Thank you. And then I did, and this is bad of me. I don't wish harm on others, but when a bunch of the people that were harassing me went to the Trump rallies and got their ass beat and were shocked, I thought it was actually pretty funny because these guys were acting like they were tough. Uh-oh. I don't know if I heard a scream or a siren. But yeah, these people were acting like these white men were really tough and they were going to go to the white person rally. And then you get your ass kicked, you get punched before you get in the rally, and you're whining on Facebook. It was cute. They were actually whining on Facebook about it. Oh, I went to a white rally and I got punched. Like, what? I thought you guys were militia. Thought you were soldiers. Like, I find this shit really ironic. I do. I think it's hilarious. And I do think it's funny. I'm not wishing ill on people, but I don't know what to tell you. It's just ironic to me how many of these people were ready to die for their cause. Oh, now all of a sudden, it's somebody else's fault. Oh, it's the government's fault. Oh, look at me. I'm in jail. Poor me. Can you believe they put a white person